Well, as gasoline and diesel prices keep climbing, many are on the lookout for little ways to stretch a buck while driving. Look no farther than what we saw at Costco and Sam's earlier. Right now, we're joined by Lauren Fix, an automotive expert and Car Coach Reports CEO. Lauren, good morning. Thank you for joining us here on Fox Weather. So, talking about those membership-only retailers, the gas is a little cheaper, but it's just a few cents, right? So, we're trying to stretch that buck as far as we can. Let's say we have gas. When it comes to our car, what's the best way to stretch that dollar?
Well, there's a few things you can do. You can use apps like Gas Buddy as well, where it's crowdsourced. So when you pull up to the gas station, you put in the information, and so does everyone else. It's a great way. That's what I'm going to do for this vehicle behind me when I go to get fuel today. Try and get it before it gets even more expensive. Other things you do is try to consolidate your trips. And the number one thing I tell people is get that extra junk out of the trunk. So the golf clubs you've been carrying around or the kids' gear or whatever it might be, take that out of the vehicle, because when you're propelling extra weight, even 5 pounds, it uses up more fuel. Another thing you can do is bypass all those drive-thrus. Park the car, get out of it, go in and get whatever it is you want. Sitting at 0 miles to the gallon is not going to be helpful no matter what you're driving, because that's exactly what you're doing when you're waiting in line for your turn and then waiting for your food or whatever it is at a drive-thru. So this is where drive-thrus make absolutely no sense. And of course, we can go back to carpooling if you're really looking to save a few dollars, and that is a smart idea.
Do you think the biggest waste of gasoline is the fact that there's extra weight in the car, unnecessary weight, or are there other ways that we waste gasoline that we might not be aware of?
Well, besides the idling and sitting there waiting, that's one thing. But one thing you can do for free that costs absolutely nothing is check your tire pressure. So use the number that's inside your driver's door. It's there on every vehicle. And check that number against the tire pressure in your vehicle in the morning. Now, you've heard me say this before, but you'll get the most life out of your tires. Tires are only getting more expensive because there's also a rubber shortage going on. But it also gives you best safety, best handling, best fuel economy, and it costs nothing. So if you do that once a month, that's really smart. And of course, if you got a check engine light, maybe the vehicle's not running right, this is not the time to say, I'll do this tomorrow. When your vehicle is running at its optimum performance, you're going to get the best fuel economy.
Okay, and very quickly, I want to know, as far as electric cars are concerned, are those increasing in popularity, or are they still a bit too expensive?
They're still actually very expensive. Right now, the average electric vehicle is about $51,000, where the average gasoline-powered car is about $30,000. And those are Edmunds.com numbers. Those aren't made-up numbers. So before you go and do that, also be fair warned that your insurance rates are going to be twice as expensive on an electric vehicle. So while you think you're saving money at the pump, if you do the actual math, and I've done this before on our Car Coach Reports channel, you will find that it is not a good idea as far as trying to save money. If you can't afford the vehicle you have, the last thing you need is new car payments and a higher insurance payment, and then still having to pay for the charge.
All right. Lauren Fix, you know your things. Appreciate the information this morning, especially as those gas prices rise.